Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really cool. We're going to talk about the Battle of Princeton, New Jersey, my hometown. Born and raised here, spent 18 years here, and going to talk about some areas that I played in as a kid. So when we left off yesterday, George Washington was down here in Trenton at the Second Battle of Trenton, and he put a whooping on the British, not once, not twice, but three times. He escapes out in the middle of the night, and he decides that he's going to go to Princeton. Now, what he wants to do is he doesn't want to lose the momentum that he has of the morale of his guys. He's got two good victories in a very short period of time, so he's going to Princeton, which is the next stop going north up towards New York City again. So anyway, he leaves about 500 guys, and he comes up this is the main road here, this Quaker road, and then he marches his guys out of Trenton and comes up this way and jumps on a little bit of the Quaker road, and then there's a secondary road called Sawmill Road. I forgot. And he takes that road. It's a secondary road. So he's marching up there, and Cornwallis is down here in Trenton. Wakes up, doesn't find George. Sends a messenger to Colonel Mawhood, who we saw at the Battle of Long Island, who's in Princeton, protecting Princeton. And he says, "Come on down. I need your 1,600 guys." So Mawhood gets up very early in the morning, and he's coming down this way, and Washington's going this way. Okay? And he's going like this. And Mawhood comes across the bridge here at Stony Brook. Did a lot of fishing in Stony Brook, let me tell you. A lot of fishing. Good fishing. Right next to this bridge sometimes. Anyway, Mawhood comes down this way and looks over. Now, they're only about a half mile apart. Looks over and sees the Continental Army going north towards Princeton. So he turns his guys around, back across the bridge, and he comes over here, and they start across this. There's an apple orchard here, starts across there. Washington realizes what's going on, and he sends Colonel Hugh Mercer first to hold off Mawhood. And it's like 500 guys against 1,500 guys. And so the British are coming across. Mercer starts, they do good in the beginning, but then his troops start running away. Okay? And the guy's name is Hugh Mercer. The British think that he's George Washington. They shoot him off his horse, and then they bayonet him and slice him with things, demanding that he surrender. He doesn't surrender. He ends up, they keep going on when they realize it's not Washington. So then Washington sends this guy called Walker, and he's got about 1,200 troops, most of them raw militia who've never been in a battle. So they go up against Mulholland, and Mulholland does them in as well. And they all start, so they see Mercer's guys retreating, Caldwell's guys, they put up a little bit of fight, and then they start retreating. Well, General George is up here, and he sees what's going on. He brings some troops down here with him. Now, George is like somebody else that we know. He's in the front. He's calling the guys, "Hey, come with me. Turn around. Don't retreat. Turn around." He's in the very, very front. Now, the British have fired all of their rifles. And back in the day, those rifles made a great deal of smoke. There's cannons going off. And there's a diary of his aide that he covered his face with his hat because he knew that Washington was going to be dead when the smoke cleared. Nope. George Washington alive and well, directing the troops, and they come up and they start driving Mawhood back and driving him back. Washington, just like my friend General Arnold, loves to be in the front, loves a good battle. So they start driving him back. Washington is fearing that Cornwallis is going to start, coming this way. So he pulls his troops out. Smallwood's still trying to recover, sends some troops back to Princeton because there's nobody to protect Princeton now. Washington sends an advance army up to Princeton, and they capture Princeton. They beat the British. There's a couple little skirmishes up here, nothing of significance. They take Princeton. Alexander Hamilton is said to have fired a shot through one of the windows in Nassau Hall, which is part of Princeton University. And it's a great place to go visit. If you're ever in Princeton, you need to go to Nassau Hall. It's fantastic. I've been there a whole lot of times. Anyway, there was a picture of George II, who was the father of George III, who is now the guy responsible for this whole war, and that the cannonball went through the window and hit the picture of George II and knocked it off the wall. Some people say, yes, that's true. Some people say, yes, it's not. I like it because it's cool. So Alexander Hamilton gets that. So Washington is now got Princeton, and he wants to go to New Brunswick, which is the next town, big munitions place for the British, and the next place that they're going to go on their way back to New York. The generals say, our guys have not slept for 2.5 days. They barely have clothes on. We talked all about their shoes were nothing more than rags. They hadn't eaten, hadn't slept. So Washington says, okay, we're going to knock off this fighting, which is unheard of because there was never any winter fighting. These people never fought during the winter. They'd stop in November and start again in May. And this is January the 3rd. So he takes his troops and he starts marching towards Monmouth, New Jersey. And that's where he winters over with his troops, gives them a good long rest, and he gets more recruits. This is critical because what it does now, the British say, we got to get out of New Jersey, and they remove all of the troops almost out of New Jersey, and they go back to New York City, and they spend the winter there. So it was very critical. It was called the Crucial 10 Days because it was 10 days from the very first battle of Trenton to this battle. Significant. Washington gets to rest his guys. They get real food, and they've been boiling their shoes and gnawing on the leather and drinking the fluids because they thought that would be tasty. Because they had no food. So they get real food, they get real clothes, and these battles swelled his ranks. The people came, they enlisted, and that was the Battle of Princeton, the Battle of Trenton 1 and Trenton 2. So now we're going to shift a little bit. It's winter, it's January the 4th, my birthday. And things are going to calm down battle-wise. So we'll see you tomorrow with an interesting story, a friend's request. See you in the morning. Bye.